Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jersey and we are back to continue to build on this base, and the next thing that we're gonna do is a simple starter home. Now we got the big building that we just did, that's for a storage or workshop, and I wanted to add a little home, just a little home where we can sleep, we can put decorations. Maybe you want to do your cooking in this building, maybe you want to also have part of your shop a little more independent, maybe a little over here, have a little balcony, a little back section, and that is what we're gonna work on today. Now, the way that I wanted to do it, I love this beautiful log, and I wanted to feel like this house is embedded and also kind of attached into the log. I feel like that will give it a little bit more structure and a different look. Now, this one is gonna be small and simple and straight to the point. So this is not gonna be one of those very complicated home bases. We're gonna save that for a little later down the road, right? But we're still gonna be working on our simple startup base project using the simple materials that you get right away and the first area in this map, and that is what we're going to continue to work. So as you can see, already at the floor foundation, so we're going for 2 on one side and then 4 lengths and then 3 deep, but only 2 in the front because we want to still give it a nice shape into the home. We're gonna have 2 doors, one in the front, one in the back. Now that means that we can come in either from the back when up the hill if we wanted to, or up on the other way on the side and get on the side, and then you can come up through the balcony and get to the front. Or when you leave to the front door, we're gonna have this balcony over here. Now, as you can see the balcony here, I did it a little too low. We actually ended up raising it, and then we're gonna make it look like a deck. So that's gonna be cool, and we're gonna put some pillars in the bottom. But as you can see, we finished the wall in the back, we got all the walls put in, and now we gotta work on the roofing. Now when it came to the roofing, I decided to go a little higher. I want when you walk into the home, you feel like you got space, right? I don't want it to feel like claustrophobic, like it's a little too low and it's just not enough room right there. So we're gonna go high right over here. That way it just feels a little better to walk in. And then the empty gas that they're gonna be like the triangle pieces. You just want to put triangle pieces in all those empty sections of the back wall. Then we're gonna work on the front, and over here we're gonna have our little roof indentation. So we're gonna have that little roof coming up one way, coming up the other one. Now this section here, I left it a little long because I have some issues here that was not letting me put the triangle pieces. I actually had to delete for some reason the roof, put in the triangle, delete the triangle, put in the roof piece, and then it will let me put the triangle. For some reason it just acted funny that way. I don't know why. But I had actually to do it on both sides, and then the triangles on the top area here, I actually had to do the same thing over and over again, kind of like delete the pieces, register the pieces, and then put the pieces back, and then put the triangle. So for some reason it just started to act very funny when it came to that department. Now on the inside, if you saw a little bit before here, I actually put 2 walls. I actually decided to take it out, but it's gonna be up to you depending how you want to decorate the inside. Again, this is just a very simple starter home base. Also, if for some reason you haven't built the storage area, right, and this is your only startup base right now, then you have a little indoor area, right, so you can do a little bit of your cooking, a little bit of organization. You also gonna have the back deck area and the porch all the way around, where you can actually put some of the materials or items or machinery that you're already unlocking. And now if you don't doing this house in the same location, then the great thing about it, if you do it anywhere else, or even if you do it here, you can actually make the decks even bigger so you can do more of the area. But again, the idea of this is just to get you started, to do a simple build, to do something that just looks also nicer, but to get you going in your early portion in the game. Because if you're doing a survival, ideally we want to start building better bases, bigger houses, better storage area, sections where we're gonna put animals, all the insects, all that stuff, all the plushie collections and all of that. And I have really cool ideas because those plushies are big, and I have an idea. I can't wait to do it, but we just gotta get there. But okay, So we're gonna continue to do this here. As you can see, I actually elevated the floor of the deck because it was a little too low, but I kind of like that you go down outside the home and then come back up just to give it a little bit of something instead of just everything so equally. So just this corner is a little lower. Again, you can extend this a little bit more if you want to. We're indenting all the grass pieces into that log and also the one that's underneath it. Again, we're doing that. Now we're adding this pillar support that we did from our previous storage build. I really like that. I really like that look. And again, to me, it makes it feel a little bit better instead of having just things floating in the air that it maybe just kind of doesn't make sense. Then this way, to me, it kind of makes sense. And I really like the structure that it gives it. Now, there are better pillars if you're doing it in Creator. Now, this build, I did do it in Creator. We gotta do this build now, a version of this in our survival file too. But as you can see over here, I really like the feel of this. It just feels good. So we're gonna do one more on the corner and then one kind of in the back, make it feel again that's indented into the wood. Then we're gonna put a little bit of railing over here just to make it safe, that way we don't just fall off by accident. But I'm really starting to like the feel of this base area here. It's coming together. We got the storage unit, now we got a little home. I kind of want to make like an actual area a little bit bigger because I want this to feel like it's just your little home, very intimate, and you just here put your little decoration, you share your this, and you're sleeping, right? Maybe you do this home and you want to do it in 3 different sections here, right? If you're playing, or 4 total if you're playing with your friends, and all of you can have a little versions of this home in this little area over here, right? But I do kind of want to make a building that is just kind of just for cooking and stuff like that. So that's in the mind. But a couple other things, I want to kind of do like a little gate bridge or something like that also, to kind of incorporate and put some of those turrets that you get early on in the game, kind of to protect your base, just kind of make it feel a little more safety. But anyway, again, all these ideas are coming in. It's just which one is the right one, which one's going to be the next step, and how we're going to do it. But as you can see, the pillars over here, we are actually just integrated on this one. It won't let me go down. There's structure, it's detecting things that it's not working. So what we did a short one and we indented. Now when we come this way, and this over here is the storage building, right? Now when we take this turn, you start seeing the home from far away, and I really liking the way all of this now is slowly coming together. Now we got 2 pieces complementing one another, and again, all of this is done with the early game materials. Even though I didn't create a mode, I really stuck with it with a simple material, because this is supposed to be very early on, especially if you're doing survival and you're playing by yourself, and it takes a moment to gather all the materials you need, right? And the grass one is one of the quickest to do, especially once you get your buggy and you just go at it really quickly. But as you can go over here, we got the deck on the top. As you can see, the home on the top area. Now you got all this grass. Something that I'm trying to plan better is seeing where everything is spawning, all the grass, and build around that area, because it's always gonna grow. But I like the idea that part of the grass is also maybe embedded into the build, because you know it's kind of camouflage, right? You're working here and you're doing this, and I kind of like that idea. Kind of like how you see that flower right there embedded into the deck, and it just gives it a nice little beautiful view with the roof and everything going on. So yeah, so little ideas like this will come a long way as you doing the builds, and as we're kind of trying out all of these different ways to do. As you can see, we put a little roofing over here in front of the door, kind of another little piece of clover roof, just kind of to give it a little more to the window. I really like the way this feel, and we also did it on the other windows as well. You see how the grass here is coming out. It just makes it feel like you really embedded into the world. It's not this clean look, and at the same time, you know, once you cut it, it's gonna grow back. There's some of them here that don't, and it's just gonna be there forever. So it's kind of cool to complement that into the builds to see how everything works out. I really like this feel of the deck out here, and you get to your home, you get your door, and you start seeing everything around it. It's just, I feel like it looks really nice. We ended up putting a little bit of lamp. I did a little structure. I just put kind of a couple shelves just to give an idea what can be done. You can put a bed right there in the front. You can put bookshelves. You can put chairs. You can make that like a little living room area. Maybe you want to put a little fireplace if you got it unlocked. I love the way you're looking through this window and it just focus and you see our previous build. This is something, and one of the reasons I wanted this home right here because I want to take advantage of a viewpoint and seeing your other creation that you've done from another angle that you're going to be spending some time. Again, I hope this build really motivates you and either start small, start simple, take this base, and as you're building it, you start adding even more because you want it a little bit bigger. Maybe you prefer having a little more. You know, you can make this go deeper. You can keep everything the same, but instead of just having the 2, you can go 3, you can go 4 when it comes to the depth of the home, and you can make it even deeper. So that's something to think about that you can do. Now we're gonna look at a different couple angles right over here. Again, part of the tricks in doing builds like this is taking away that flat look, right? Just panels and that's it. But you want to create a little bit of depth, create some shadows, and give you this beautiful view that we have over here. But guys, this is the build, a very simple build, but I hope that you like it as a starter base. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe so you don't miss any more build videos for Grounded 2. And I'll see you all on the next one. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.